All right, what's going on, y'all? All right, so back though, I just did 2 hours some change in a video. I accidentally deleted the video. Oh my god, it's about escape from the sex police. Okay, out here in California is different. I talked about all of the metaphysical things that that transpired. I deleted it, so whatever. Y'all discreet's gonna get it. Um, but let's just do this again. I'm not gonna take too long this time. Just keep it short. Um, Escaping the sex police. All right. In order to, okay, I'll put it like this. In California, it's sex driven. Physically, everything is sex driven. Physically, porn industry stuff and all of that stuff is sex driven, and it's prominent here in California because the Demon Time stuff, the Demon World, and the Hell City stuff. They eat people, organic. You call it organic food, but they eat people, and that's their energy source that connects to the physical, earthly stuff that their physical bodies have, their bags and stuff. The Baraka people, the crocodile people. The Crocs, if you would, whatever. Um, the police force out here, yes, they still do regular police work like police officers do in other states, but the ones here in California, in the area, at least in the area that I'm in, I would say, is more specific to um, porn. So they might drive around and do their regular quota stuff, but their metaphysical priority is um, trying to lock people up and trap them in the porn industry, which is basically bring them down to Hell City. And if they can get you into Hell City, especially if you have a lot of life inside of you, you pure as ever. You got a lot of life, you holy and stuff. You the number one target. They trying to drag you down to Hell City, to the demon time world. And physically, if they can get you metaphysically into the demon time world, then physically they can put you in the porn industry. Your life will automatically start patterning that way. Now, if they can't catch you, the Ruby Clash Ball situation I ran since then. That was about 4 or 5 days ago. The Ruby Clash Ball, you know, and we took flight in my car here, Plasma Force GT8. Took flight. We still in flight. Everybody in my car and shit, and we getting out of there. Now they gotta catch me first. That's where we at present day. Every single day from this moment on, for the rest of my life and y'all lives, they gotta catch our ass. We're currently in flight, escaping, running. They gotta catch us before they can make us do porn work. Those who are in special cases that are already in the industry, they'll still try to use you to their advantage to basically make money, but they won't get anything like a spiritual benefit from it anymore. So it will eventually fizzle away, and their lives will be in danger for forcing you to do these things. Whereas though before, nothing followed, like nothing happened to these people for making you wear bikinis and take photos and shit, all these nude photos. Nothing happened to them and shit because you was in that meta world, that Hell City world. But now that you're safe with me running for your lives, they will get affected now. They'll start dying and shit like that, getting fucked up for putting you in these perverted situations and shit. I guess you can call it the Disney World cave, the Disneyland cave. It's a cave. You already in the wrong world, but there's a cave in that world that takes you down into Hell City in that world. So it's a deeper place to go into. It's like you're already in the meta world, but it's a deeper place you can go into that's hotter and more manifested. It has more reality to it. The sensory level is higher. But down there is where the demons live, in a cave area. You can call it Disneyland, whatever. And the Baraka people, just a regular old people. And it looked like Disney World when you come into that thing. It like Disney World and shit. But I only been there for a second to get Zendaya out when they was in one of the Spider-Man episodes, and Mr. Stanley, we had to get him out. So I was there for a second. Caught the elevator, got out because I didn't belong there. I was innocent. I didn't belong. So Everybody stopped at Baraka Teeth and was just looking at my ass like, what the hell is he doing down here? And I just left. So they let me leave, caught the elevator, got out, teleported out. I guess they didn't even believe I would even leave. They just wanted to, I guess, see if I could or something. And when I did leave, they're like, damn, he made it and shit. But Tom Holland tried to leave with me on some Spider-Man shit. They ran after his ass. They went straight up full-fledged Baraka Teeth. Mouths was opening wide as shit. They was roaring like a motherfucker. Eyes went extra red as shit. Roaring like, I can't even mimic the roars. The whole shit was shaking and shit. That's some scary ass shit. It's like you had like 10 big grown ass Rockwilders behind the fence and shit. And they just like was peaceful as shit. As soon as you start, they looked at you peaceful and all that. But as soon as you went past, they start barking, all 10 of them at the same time, real loud. That fucked your whole shit up. And you didn't even look back. You just ran and shit. But they was trying to get Tom Holland and shit. Try to get Tom Holland. And they was trying to stop him from making it. And they did, you know. But that's the porn world. The Jade Dragon World is actually a porn world too, but they actually having sex in there. They don't eat you. They just have sex with you and shit. And you have nonstop climaxes. Like I've been there. I've been there before. I came through that way, the Zelda world, but also I revisited like in this world. I've revisited. I had a memory of being there, or I was there revisiting. I was with somebody that was I was a fully transferred student. It was a woman, no dick, no balls, and they were trying to protect me and stuff from the porn industry or from that, but I was still there. So she was like, we can protect each other. I'm like, all right, but I was like, damn, what we gonna like? I was like, that's crazy in here. She was like, just lay down, don't worry about nothing, just lay down and relax, because if I went out there, they was gonna recognize me, and if they recognized me, I was gonna be caught up in that sex energy. Like literally, they're in the pool like a pile of people, like 15, 20 people in one corner or one area of the pool and shit, piled up on top of each other, just having sex like a motherfucker. Women, you just holding women up, floating and shit. They like, you know, climaxing the shit out of her ass. And like women were climaxing and squirting and shit in the pool, dying and shit. Like they were climaxing to death. Like they were climaxing so much and so hard that they was dying and shit. And they, like, if they died, they just let them float off in the pool and shit. And they just never stopped climaxing. Then you can meet somebody at the bar and shit. You know, I was at the bar where like it was like a little bar where you can get like a pina colada or some shit like that on some Charlie's Angel shit. I was just sitting at the thing, and there was a girl sitting next to me. I didn't say anything to her. She didn't say anything to me. I just sat there. I asked for a drink, and then there's a girl pulled up or whatever. And then a guy out of nowhere walked up on the girl, bent her over, and just started fucking the shit out of her right there and shit while she getting a drink and while I'm getting a drink. And I just walked away. I didn't say anything. I just walked away because everywhere you go, at every moment, somebody's having sex. You have to have sex nonstop. You know, and that was scary. That's the porn world of the Jade Dragon world, I believe. Non-stop sex and shit, and you can die that way too. But it's better than going to Red Dragon world where you get eaten and shit. They eat you and shit. But in the physical world, it all is the same physical porn. It's the same sex and shit, just dick and pussy and squirting and climax. It's the same shit, but different worlds. Different ways, different outcomes of on the back end and shit. So in California, since you have both worlds, even death, if you get caught with death, they'll just drain your shit out you. Like, it's better to be in the world of death, or it's better to be in the Mecca world and be in the porn industry, because they just drain you. They just take your life. But it's, I guess, actually not better, because the end result is you don't feel anything, but then eventually you feel death and shit. So then you about to die physically. You start feeling that shit physical, man, supernatural. You start feeling that shit physically. So in every way, it's all scary, but different metaphysical outcomes that stand behind these different ways that it's done. Sorry. So the meta world of Jade Dragon is just sex. It matches. You're having orgy type, bukkake type sex, nonstop, just nonstop sex liquid. I guess like Japanese porn. That's what it's like. As far as the Jade Dragon world, it's like Japanese porn. They just crazy bunny rabbit crazy, my nigga. You know, nonstop climaxes. The guy busting nuts like you never seen a guy bust a nut so hard and long. It's shit just crazy. And I observe all of this stuff because I'm under attack and shit. So it's more like warnings and this shit be thrown in my face. So in order to escape it, you gotta get through it sometimes. So you get through it, see what they trying to tell you and shit. It's like I'm seeing this shit, but I'm not feeling how I should feel while seeing it. Like horny and shit. It's just hot energy hitting my bag, but I'm seeing through it how I can fight through the shit. Because I didn't ask to see this shit. It just popped up on my scroll and shit. Now I'm seeing it. So, okay, why am I seeing it? Let me see. What are they trying to tell me and shit? Found out what it was and shit. So the Jade Dragon world with Japanese people, they're just trying to like uh make it match sex with sex. If you're green, if you're red, they're trying to eat your ass on the back end. But on physically, it looked like you're having sex, but you're being eaten. They're eating your body and shit, your protoplasm, your soul. With mecha people, the deaf people, they're literally killing you slowly. They're taking your life force and destroying it. It's not going to anything. They're just killing your ass. Um, then once you're dead, you're dead. Um, but I'm not gonna get into that. You can get married in the mecha world. They get married there. So if you did find somebody to get married to, and you was holy for real, you're gonna have them looking like the Scream mask guy. That was the disrespect part of what Scream, because that people of death, they don't they only live like when they see lights, they only live to destroy light. So if they see light, they're trying to destroy it. It's like the little bubblegum stuff that you get in the box with your the gift wrap stuff. It's like popping the bubbles on that. This is a habit that they have. Like they see the bubblegum popping stuff and they gotta pop it. Pop, 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 pop. It's a comfort for them. So that's how they look at life or people with energy. Like those little bubblegum things they gotta pop it and shit. They all have it's like a cat with yarn and shit. That's how they are. They're like cats with yarn. And they just can't resist the catnip and that cat with yarn. It's a thing for them. So that's how you can tell the spirits of death, because they see life and they try to drain it, but if they can't drain it, um, they're gonna keep trying to like eat from it and stuff. Because if it's life, they also being deaf have death in them and it's painful. So it's like a groaning or it's like a ooze feel. It feels like you're oozing away or something, or melting away, or a negative pain. It hurts. Um, Something like the guys in black robes in Final Fantasy VII. They not just moving like that. They are in a negative type of pain. That's what death do to you. It's a negative pain if you've ever felt it before. But if they find someone with life, they're gonna nonstop eat from it to ease the pain. So it's natural that they want to do that. But at the same time, it's their job to uh, take people's life. So it was kind of a punishment that happened with their father, Mr. AZ, and them being born from him. That pain still lives with them. So if they find someone with life, it eases the pain and they can live in relief and peace. Whatever the case. So it's like the people of death are the number one dick suckers. They are the number one dick suckers in the world. They suck the best dick. Physically, they suck the best dicks. They are the ones that do deep throat type stuff and all that, because the life and the energy they get from the person, it eases their pain, but it drains your life force. All right, so all of these things, these three meta worlds, have different methods of, or different backings of the same physical activity, which is sexual porn or porn sex. So yeah, the police or whatever the case, they're just the police. They wear the badge. They protect and serve. But the more is more so, Um, if you're not connected to any of these worlds, they will get angry with you, and you'll start being connected metaphysically, and you'll get those warnings. You'll just randomly get connections to people, and they'll send sirens and shit, and then you'll see metaphysical police officers, you know what I'm saying, running up on your ass and shit, talking about somewhere to sperm at and shit. You know, it's like that. You know, that's why I painted the picture where when I was here in Santa Monica, California, um, some years ago, homeless on the ground, the police officer lady was sucking this black man dick. It was what I was trying to tell y'all, that it is it's against the law here in California to not have sex and shit. You're not allowed to not have sex. Even though you have a lot of homosexual men, still you're not allowed to not have sex. If you're homosexual or not, you have to have sex. You have to give that energy exchange of intimacy or sex or whatever, no matter what world you're living in, LGBTQ or not. So that's why the police are on me mostly, because I'm not having sex with nobody. My energy don't go to none of the world. So it's like, yo, who's the guy and shit? So everybody knowing who I am because I'm not giving them energy. So it's like chasing me down type stuff. So it's been a decree on my life that if they catch my ass, and even if they don't catch my ass, they're trying to force me to go into the porn industry. That's why they not giving me a regular job. They're trying to make me have sex, but mainly with Asian women. I guess that's they're the go-to people. Asian women. They want me to have sex with them. It sounds good as shit. Sound good. And being deprived and lonely does not make it help. You know, when you see all of them women coming towards you, no, it's not love. It's just get your ass over here. Like, where the fuck is you at type energy. Where the fuck is you at? I'm angry as shit. I'm mad as shit. You not here in my meta world. You always safe. Where the fuck you at? Where you ran to? Where you think you going? Where you think you gonna escape to? Ain't no escape. You know. So they've been telling me that since before I divorced my wife, Tanika. Well, she divorced me. Since Tanika divorced me, and she was still pregnant with our son, Naaza, women started coming up to me saying, you can't escape and shit. And I'm wondering what they trying to tell me and shit. You can't escape? What are they talking about? Escape what? I'm not running from nothing. So, meaning it was like they're trying to find me. And that energy started in Utah, and it carried with me when I went back to Aunt Rhea's house. And then, from Aunt Rhea's house, I'm all over the place, and the energy is like manifesting stronger now to where the police officers here in California, Santa Monica, Hollywood area, where the famous people be at, it manifested so hard to where they're chasing me down and shit. They'll come out of nowhere randomly sometimes. If they feel like they got a lead and shit, they'll try to find me metaphysically and drag me down to one of these worlds and shit so I can start having sex. Otherwise, I'm going to still be the one guy out this motherfucker that's not having sex. Out of the whole Santa Monica, California, or the whole area that I'm in, I'm the only person not having sex with somebody. I use the bathroom, that's peeing. That's not having sex. But I'm not having sex with anyone. And they are having sex, whether it's gay sex or not. They're having energy exchange in an intimate way, which is their fuel source. And so I'm in trouble with the police for not having sex and shit. So they're trying to chase me down, but I'm in the Plasma Force GT8, getting it like a motherfucker, getting out of there. I'm going to Grandpa's house. I ain't got time for this. I believe in sacred marriage only. And if it ain't sacred marriage, whatever the fuck, even if it's a special case, we got to do it a stupid ass way. Consort, concubine, or you just my person and shit. Even if you just my person, that's still you just my person. I can make it work with that. But the thing is that I'm not out here having random sex with everybody. Now, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to feel. Aside from, I just know they're trying to find my soul. Like, where's your soul at and shit? Where you at? Where your soul at? So I can trap your ass so we can start having sex with you and shit. Because I'm full of life, and they can use that energy, that life force, and they can continue living, creating, inventing, and this, that, and the third. Have direction for their lives, have vision, have power. They can continue to have their multi-million, billion-dollar companies and come up with more ideas to stay billionaires and millionaires and shit like that. So that's why it matters to them, because they're already rich. So this metaphysical stuff matters mostly for them. But those of us who are poor, this shit don't really matter, because whether I'm metaphysical in my mind and I'm safe as shit, I'm still poor on earth. I'm going to be poor if I'm safe, poor if I'm not. So it don't really matter too much, but it does, because your afterlife means more. So that's what's been going on. So I'm escaping the sex police. And the sex police are real police officers, okay? They're real police officers. And then also the porn industry themselves, if you end up being snatched into the porn industry physically, meaning you're physically having sex, they have police officers too, but they're sex police officers. So it's like your life becomes in danger when you are already in the porn industry having sex with women or whatever the case, or whatever the fuck. Your life becomes in danger if you try to run away, or if you stop having sex. Like, you can't put your dick in these women, give them some good ass dick, busting hard ass nuts inside of their pussies and shit like that, and then like, all right, now I want to walk away from the shit. You can't do that. So they have sex police, and they'll follow you, whatever the stuff like that, and it becomes worse for you, where even for men, like, they treat you like women and shit. Like, you can't go nowhere, you can't do anything and shit like that. You only could just like have sex and shit. It sounds like it could be fun and shit for somebody that's deprived like me, or that don't get no pussy and shit. Sounds like it could be fun, but that back end, that meta back end of that shit is killing you. Whether you in the red world where it's pain and you're being eaten, the the jade world where you are having sex in that world, and sex physically. So no matter if you're awake or asleep, you always having sex with somebody, or you in the mecha world, the dead world, where you're having sex, but they're draining your life force and erasing your ass. So either way, I'm running and shit. Running is what I'm doing, and because I'm on the outside, those who are able to ride with me, I can basically I'm gonna leave that off the record. But let's just say we're being chased down as we speak, man. Hardcore being chased down. Hardcore being chased down. Every time I go to sleep and every time I wake up, it's a new day of them trying to find out if did somebody catch me yet? Did you catch them yet? Did you find them yet? That's what it is now. Japanese people, Asian people, mostly the Asian women popping up on my ass. Did you find them yet? And can't find me still and shit. You know what I'm saying? Walking around me with their cheeks twerking and shit. They, switching and shit. All that enticing me in all kinds of different enticements, my nigga. Like, I couldn't even this morning, I couldn't even like turn my phone on and check my notifications without seeing straight up sex in my face and shit. But it wasn't like we feel sympathy for you or we feel bad for you, we want you to have some sex too. It wasn't that. It was, where the fuck is you at? I'm gonna find your ass. Like, soon as I wake up and cut my phone on, I'm gonna find your fucking ass. Instead of like punching you and shit like that and whipping your ass and stabbing the shit out your ass, it's a bunch of fire, fire for breakfast and shit. And there's a bunch of sex in my shit. I'm like, where the fuck all this sex come from and shit? On my Twitter X, I'm like, man, get through this. I found out what it was about. I was looking at a Japanese one where the girl was. I scrolled to a random one. It was a random one that was a woman in the park, and you couldn't see out the corner but barely. Then you see like a guy's dick swinging, and she's sucking this guy's dick sitting on a park bench next to another guy and shit. People walking around in the park and shit. She just starts sucking his dick in the middle of the broad daylight park. I'm like, what the fuck? So I start scrolling some more. What the fuck going on today and shit on my Twitter X feed and shit. Sure enough, I scrolled and it came to one where this Japanese woman, she's in the office or whatever, and she's like having her skirt up or whatever and just keep opening her legs. But I could feel the connection and the communication is more like I can feel her trying to pull my soul, and I can feel my body, my soul inside my body being tugged towards her vagina. Not my dick. My stomach is being pulled towards her stomach. So I'm like, okay. So I start typing. I said, okay, this is what y'all doing. I'm like, that's why all of this shit popping up on my shit this morning. You know, y'all trying to find my soul and shit. Like, where am I at? Where the fuck am I at? Where am I? You know, y'all trying to find me. I'm like, but you're not gonna find me. And so I'm going home to the Most High Father. You're either trying to stop me or not, but you're not gonna find me. You know, you're not gonna catch me in nothing. I don't belong. I don't belong down there, and I don't belong where y'all at and shit like that. You know, fucked up and shit. I don't belong. So I was just trying to say that in all these feeds and shit, like, oh, that's what y'all trying to do. Y'all trying to find my soul, so and trap me up so y'all can throw me in the porn industry and shit, and make money off me and shit like that. And it's like, at least you get to have sex, but it's like, yeah, but you eating my ass at the same time, and I'm gonna die eating with no soul and shit. It's not. You know what I'm saying? You look on the surface, it's just stupid. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to say, man. All I wanted to say, really. I wanted to also give a confirmation or co-formation to the Kardashians that this started in 2007. Me being safe, man. 2007 it started. First time I seen Shekinah glory in the kingdom of heaven. I was in the not yet. I was at my aunt on the Angel House, and then she was married to Christopher Daniels, and Grandma Carolyn McMillan was living with them, and we was living out Ricestown. She was living out Ricestown. I was just staying in an extra room she had, and I was reading the Bible, and I was falling asleep reading the Bible, praying in my heart, and I was looking at the fish tank while praying in my heart for answers and stuff. And as I was falling asleep, I translated to this place that looked like a shiny, bright kingdom, and this, that, and the third. It looked like exactly how you describe it in Revelations, the kingdom of heaven. And I was trying to get to it because it felt so peaceful. The energy was so pure, so bright, so shiny. It was so hot and so much energy. It's like the opposite of Hell City. It was just holy though. It felt so good. And I was trying to get to it, but I couldn't get to it because I was floating. But it's just sitting on these energy clouds, and the walls of it from far what I can see look like transparent gold. It looked like gold, yellow gold or whatever, but you can see through it like glass or like a window, but it shined from within. The space all around it was white space, so it was like deep space was white. It was crazy. Pretty. It had a rainbow around the whole thing, a circle rainbow around the whole kingdom. It was a full circle rainbow. Like, dang, clear as day. Like, yo, that thing pretty. And then when I was trying to get to it, the energy knew I would have made it if I kept going because I really wanted to be there. You know, I wanted to be there. Didn't want to wake up. But it was like the energy pushed me back that was emitting from the kingdom itself. It pushed me back and said, not yet. And then I woke up, and the fire was going throughout my body from my fingertips for both hands, and my toes and both feet, and the crown of my head, and then went to the core of my stomach, and it settled there like wick, like fire on a wick, you know, like a dynamite or some crap, and it got warm in my stomach. And I searched the scriptures to find out what just happened to me. Like, wow, I saw that, and the place that I saw had hot energy, but it was a comfortable energy, like a cleansing energy, and I didn't feel negative and bad energy or like evil energy, or, you know, I didn't feel any of that. And I searched the scriptures in Matthew, and it said, you know, one will come, whose shoelaces I'm not worthy to tie, or whose shoe latchet I'm not worthy to tie. He will baptize you with fire and the Holy Spirit. That's what it says in the English. Now, and maybe not Matthew, maybe Mark, one of those Gospels, he said that when John, Yehukan and Ben Zechariah the Cohen, or John the Baptist as you call him, was baptizing people with water, and he was telling the people the Savior will come who will baptize you with fire and the Holy Spirit. And that's what happened to me. The energy from there was so cleansing. And that was in 2007. I was in a not yet, meaning I never left that space. I stayed in that white space. I just didn't go inside the kingdom. I was in the not yet, which is a distance away from the kingdom. You just sitting a distance off from it, but you're not out of that heaven space. You belong in that heaven space, meaning you're gonna make it. I wasn't told you ain't gonna make it, boy. What you thinking? It was like just not yet. You on the right path. That's when I dropped all of the Jesus stuff and I just got sharper. I was after the truth and I really was being guided. My heart was pure. I was being guided. Also having help from family members and stuff like that. That was after the same holy way. We all was looking for the same holy things. And so with the support of them, it helps you, You have a good backing, you know. Um, 2010 was the next time I saw the kingdom of heaven, where I was inside of a soul house or a haven, and there was a castle there. And that's when I knew it was the soul house. It was an individual soul house that goes into the kingdom. And it was my soul house. A sister named Zaquan, who lived in, I think, Oakland, California at the time. That was back in 2010. And I used to talk to her online, just texting and stuff like that from time to time. She was in that soul house and she was like growing tomatoes, or she was by the tomatoes or whatever the case. And I only saw her. It could have been other sisters, but I only saw her. And she gave me a tomato and I bit into the tomato and it was sweet. I could taste it and I felt full. The energy of it was a pure energy. There was no gore, no disgust with it. It was like you can tell it was life from heaven. You can just tell that when you bit into the tomato. Sweet as it wasn't sweet as ever, but it had that sweet / tomato taste. And if it tastes good, you didn't need no salt. You didn't need nothing with it. It's just like, yeah, this thing good. The fruits and vegetables grow back right when you bite it and stuff. But I was standing in front of the castle steps, the castle stairs, and I was facing away from the stairs, but I was in front of the stairs, looking out towards the plain. And I saw the gates, the castle gate, and the gates before you get to the castle, and da 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 da. And Zaquan was over there towards my left, and she was, with the tomatoes and stuff, doing stuff with the tomatoes. And I went over there, and then when I got a tomato, I bit into it until I looked towards my right, upwards towards my right. Like kind of like Mario when you playing Mario 64 and you go in the middle of the hallway and you look up and towards the light and then you teleporting, something like that. But it's a way to say that when you look up, it's Grandma Shekinah Glory. She is the sunshine or the light within the soul house or the world that you go into when you're asleep and shit. So, yeah, she was just there and she was talking to me and she was like, it's time for you to wake up, but I'm still going to be there, but it's time for me to wake up. So I woke up and it was 2010. That was when I ended up at Samak spot, Samak Tazawar, and I seen that one time and I knew I was on the right path. So I already was safe is what I'm saying. I was already in a safe haven. And so my life was full of peace to keep living and keep studying and learning truth and searching for truth, because I was already in a safe metaphysical space, a safe soul space. My intentions were pure. I was just being protected to be given a chance to learn. And that's what I'm trying to offer y'all. A safe haven for y'all to take your time on earth to sit back and learn what the Most High want from you. That's what a rabbi does. He is your safety net so that you can learn. Otherwise, you're going to be focused on fighting and your mind is going to be in chaos all the time while you're trying to learn stuff. So you're never going to learn anything. You're going to be always all over the place in your mind. Never at peace, never at rest, always hasty, all over the place. So that was 2010. And then And then I went actually into the actual house, grandma's house, 20 when I became a rabbi, I think 2015, 2016. I went all the way into the house before somebody was with me. And she was like, I was like a baby in a high chair or something like that. And I was sitting down and I was at the little high chair or something. And she was like, all of this stuff I gotta do, I'm done with mankind. She didn't have a human body or nothing, but she had a form of a person, and she looked like milk. She looked like a milk lady, a lady that looked like all white like milk. And she didn't have a human body, so she wasn't a human person, but she was moving like so she was like, all this stuff, she had a voice and everything. All this stuff I have to make, I have to do all this, I have to do that, I gotta create other things. I ain't got time for humans. I don't have time for humans and angels and demons. I got more stuff to do. Like, y'all act like y'all the only things that exist. And she was talking like that. She was spicy and stuff, talking like that. And then she was like, I just came to get my grandson. I felt important. For the very first time ever, I felt important. Like, really important to the creator. I felt very important, like I meant something to the creator, because I was sitting in my high chair and I was a little boy, like 3 years old still or something. I was still a little boy, a toddler. And then she took me out the high chair and put me on her side and started carrying me like a mother carries her 3-year-old child, and she walks down the hall or something like that. And she was like, yeah, she's moving the stuff on the wall, looking like The Price is Right. She's like, do 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 do, like it's just moving, and you just see non-stop stuff that she have to create. Like, I got other stuff to make, other worlds to create, other things to create and stuff like that. That's not just humans. I got more stuff. And then it was and then she stopped it and moved it the other way and showed how many worlds she created before humans. Before humans was created, I made so many other things. Like, dang, they're dead and gone now. And then it's like, and then she was like, yeah. And then she got another board on the other side. I got stuff over here too. And like it was stuff, and she got so much stuff that you can't count it. You can't count it, how much stuff. It was just rolling forever and ever and ever. Like, all the stuff that she got to create or stuff that she got to do, and she's wasting her time still dealing with humans and stuff. She was just mad and upset. And then she picked me up. I was looking at that stuff in amazement, like, that's amazing. Like, I'm lost. You gotta make other stuff, like, dang, like the Jaboga Joes and stuff. Like, yeah, I gotta make the Jaboga Joes. Angels and demons is done. Like, we done with that. We save who we can save. Everybody else that want to rebel can do them. We gonna make something else. Those who made it will go in the kingdom, and then we're gonna make something else. I got other stuff to do. So that's what she was talking like that. And then after that, I actually went into the house. So it went from, I was in a not yet. When I became a rabbi, I went into the yet. I call it the yet, but I went into the kingdom of heaven. And I went into that place. Now, I got pulled in. You never call yourself up. You never force your way up, is what I learned. You don't force your way into something. You get called up. You get pulled up. You have to earn it, and then they bring you in. So I got pulled into the kingdom, and I was getting pulled in. I went in, but then my vision was limited. I got brought into the inner city of Jerusalem, and it was like people talking, people walking around. You can hear people walking and talking and stuff. And I had a room or a house or apartment or something I had in the inner city that was mine, and like an inheritance. And I was laying down, but I was like asleep, or in a sleep stasis, like a coma or something like that. I was asleep, and Abraham was told, you can hear a woman's voice in the atmosphere saying, Abraham, can you watch him? Watch him. Make sure nothing happened. Make sure he don't run out at all costs. Make sure he do not run out of this house. Because I ran out the house last time and crashed. But she like, make sure he don't go anywhere. Watch his body. Da 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 da. She was saying, like, if you don't watch him and something happened, I'm kicking you out. So she was like, I'm gonna kick you out of the kingdom if something happened to him. So it was a voice in the atmosphere, but you knew it was Grandma Shekinah Glory, talking like a mother, like a sweet mother. But she was like, letting it be known she's not playing with anybody, but keep stay on your toes, y'all. Y'all not guilty people. Just like, do what I say. one of y'all and stuff. So that's what she was sounding in the atmosphere. She didn't sound like anybody that I heard of or I was familiar with. Like some lady or something that really loves you and stuff that you know or heard of, but you never met before, but she know you and stuff. It was different. And I was sleeping. He was like, yeah, he was letting me know, I got it. Yes, ma'am, I got it, got it. And he's watching over my body, making sure I don't go nowhere and stuff like that. But I was asleep, and you could see my body laying in the room through the window. It's like a window or open way, like an ancient Israel house or something, like a cob home almost, if you would. And I was laying down, and then that's all I saw was my body, and I heard the voice in the atmosphere. I heard people talking, the city of the noise of people walking through a city, and then the camera panned out of the city, and I was panned out of the kingdom, and then past the energy clouds, and I went back into the not yet area. The camera went back into the not yet area, and it said reserved. My body, I'm reserved. I arrived, but I'm not just only arrived. I'm reserved. You ain't reserved. If you not reserved, what you talking to me for? You ain't reserved. Like that's the next level of arrived. Once you arrived, you gotta be reserved. So if you ain't reserved, yeah, get out my face. It's like, no, I'm just being funny, but I'm just saying. It's the next level up from arrived. You actually, if you arrived, you in white space. You in the atmosphere where the kingdom of heaven is. You arrived, but you have not been reserved. You haven't been brought in yet. So I've been brought in. I could live or die today or tomorrow, and I'm already in the kingdom. I saw myself in there. My soul body is there. Inside of my body is a whole world, the soul house, that people live inside of, like blood cells and stuff like that. So yeah, but I didn't see everything, but I did feel that comfort that there are people that know who I am in there. Also, you heard that it was like you know, like people know you. You belong to somebody. You know, I did also feel that I wouldn't be lonely. Like that feel of like when you want to be married on earth, you feel like you'll have somebody that you'll always be with, you know? Um, and that way you have family, you have loved ones that love you, and you feel that family feel. It doesn't feel strange. It feel 100% like family. So you feel it. So then once I felt all of that stuff and heard all of those voices and stuff, it was women that was waiting on me and stuff. Like True Thompson was women that's waiting on you and stuff. So they could talk to you and stuff and be in your presence and stuff like that and just listen to you talk about what happened. Women that just holy women. I'm like, really holy women, like that's holy like me. You think holy things all the time. You're not willing to compromise at all. You're women that are hardcore holy, like you're not compromising for a piece of bread or nothing. You know, they'll rob somebody or rob a store before they get butt naked and start twerking and shit. Like those type of women holy. Like they is not gonna degrade themselves to the most high. Those type of women from ancient times was there. And people you never read of in the scriptures and stuff, but made it. And waiting for me, interested in me. So it feels good that you can feel all of that energy like that, and it's only peaceful energy, loving energy. Everybody thinks the same and feel the same way. Kind people, very generous. You know, open-hearted, taking a chance on love type of people. It's just that all the people that are there are the same people that when you were on earth, you're looking for someone to love because you got love, but you're afraid to open up because the person might hurt you type stuff. But all of those people there, you're not afraid to open up because all of these people made it. They are the very ones that were hurt people, that nursed people. They love people. They kept continuing to choose to love. But kept running into people that just want to hurt you and stuff, getting in the way. But theirs is beautiful, man. Everybody is trustworthy there. So that's the energy there inside of the kingdom. in the inner city is where I was at, in the inner city. So, and then I came back out, and there was more stuff I needed to do in my physical body. So I became a camera at that point, and I've been a camera ever since. I've been a camera ever since, with energy in it. But my soul always been safe. So pieces of me have been being collected and stuff like that. Pieces of me. But my actual soul is reserved, man. I've been in the house all this time. You know, that's how I'm able to like bring forth life to everybody. And y'all like, where am I getting this life force from? My soul that's already in the house is already there. From that body, I can pull down life force from the kingdom of heaven itself into my lower parts and stuff like that. So it's like that, levels to the thing. So that's the thing on the not yet and the yet. A lot of people haven't made it and haven't been reserved. They might have arrived, but they have not been reserved. I'm reserved. You have to literally live the way the Most High tell you. If you don't, then you have to wait until you get judged to come in. You know, but if you live holy on earth while you're still alive physically, you can get reserved. You just go right in there. Just go right in there because you already living right. You already been judged. You're keeping the Torah. You know, you're calling on the right Savior's name. You're not playing or nothing like that. You're not at war with anybody to be playing and catfishing. So all of that play stuff and playing that y'all be doing, catfishing, gaslighting, all that bullshit. Yeah, everybody's doing that, but you still could be holy, right? So what happens is you need to get a shower first. You got to get judged first and go through all of this stuff. Like, why did you do this? Why did you say that? Before you can get in, you know? So it's going to take probably till after you die. But those who are living holy and not playing up front, you can get reserved. While you're still alive, you can get reserved. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 16 and 17. You can be reserved. And you're just living out the last little minutes of your life. So at that point, you're a main camera. Like everybody from Abraham and the ancients are watching TV through you. And everybody that's doing stuff to you thinking they getting away with stuff, they being watched. They're like, yo, you being watched like a motherfucker. So then when you think you getting over, next thing you know, heaven start doing stuff to you. Random shit, supernatural stuff start happening to you. Like, yo, I thought I was right. Shit start happening to y'all ass because they watching TV. That's disrespectful as shit. She gonna marry him and not keep her marriage vows and then do this and then go run to her ex-boyfriend and shit on some dumb shit. And stuff like that. Be watching y'all now, yo. So that's why it be strange with me, like how y'all be just like wondering, like, why am I like this? Or why am I, what is it with me? I'm reserved already. I'm in the kingdom of heaven already. I don't say Jesus. I don't do none of that bullshit. I actually do it to the T. I'm not afraid of whoever the fuck. I actually am a student of a scholar, my nigga. Like, I'm going to sit there and learn. I think, how the fuck y'all so intricate people with good thoughts and shit, but you afraid to say the Savior's actual name? How can you call yourself a servant of the Most? How the hell? That's why y'all hindered and shit. You're not arrived. You haven't been reserved and shit. Because you're calling on Jesus. But if you call on the true Savior's name with the same pure heart, you can be reserved and get right in there. You get a freezy pop. Shit, you get a freezy pop and right up in here, shorty. Get the freezy pop. As soon as I wake up, get a free. Grandma, can I get a freezy pop? Not right now. Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna leave right now. Scared as ever. Go walk somewhere else. But it's all that. But coming back down here to get y'all and stuff, using my camera body with the energy in it, like an orb or something like that, or whatever. I have a car. So we'll just ride our car and get out of here through the car. And this car is going to get us all the way back to the reserve spot. Now, once you're in the reserve spot, that's grandma's house. Grandma's is the flight that we're taking. And grandma has to get to the gate, got to get through the gate. to get in grandpa's house. So while we're in grandma's house, grandma goes into grandpa's house, and that gate is closing. And as that gate is closing, she's like just getting there, you know. She's not hesitant. She's not hesitating. She's just getting there. Now on Earth, because grandpa is using my physical body, this one right now, and mostly all the life that I lived in this body, I'm now transferred to Air's body, Air Webster, for Kylie's sake. It's like a new experience. But grandpa uses this body more than I do now. I just come and visit stuff, and grandpa don't be alone and stuff like that. You know, it's not fair that you leave him alone in your body that he gave to you, and you look like what he made you to look like, you know, and you giving him that image. You putting your image on him to say, you know, you don't want to do that. Like, oh, this is what the Most High look. No, it's just, this is what I look like, but grandpa's using my body right now. He's using my vessel right now, you know, and I get a new body. So if any of the puppets of Grandma Shekinah Glory see me, they'll see a mixture of. That's why they get mixed feelings with the eye contact. Like if I met you in person, one minute you might feel me, and you might be interested in me because you feel your husband, because you're Grandma Shekinah Glory. You feel your husband in me. Then the next minute it might be me, you know, your grandson, and then you feel me, and you be like, boy, you know, get the hell out of my face. You instantly switch into grandma mode, and you're not interested, you know, stuff like that. You start doing stuff, saying stuff to push me away. It's the interchanging or whatever of grandpa or whatever. But it should not forbid you or keep you from being with me, because whenever I was in a relationship, it was never me. It was always grandpa doing something. So it was never me, because I'm 3 years old. I don't know anything about sex and real stuff like that for real. Only person I know is Kylie. She's the only woman I kiss on an intimate way. So it's the only person I know is Kylie Jenner, but her name is Mikaela. Up top in the house, in the bunker, Mikaela. Like Mikaela, Michael, Michelle, whatever. Yeah, only person I know. Now, grandpa's been doing the other stuff. I don't know how to handle sex and stuff like that. He's straight gloving me, man. Like, he's straight up gloving me. I'm a glove for real. And y'all just not realizing that I'm a glove of the Most High Father. And sometimes you can't tell when his hand is in the glove, but it's always in the glove. So it's like, he just giving me room to be myself, and then he'll jump back in. So you know, you might see him, you might not. You might tell it's him, he might not. So it's not for the puppets, to the Grandma Shekinah Glory puppets, to use that as an excuse to stay away from me. You're supposed to be with grandpa. Like, one of y'all, so many Shekinah Glory puppets out here, one of y'all supposed to get brave enough to be like, I know my husband is in there, so I'm going to be with him, even though he's sharing the body with my grandson. You're supposed to still be moved to be with me, you know? And what you're looking at is the physicality of things. You're supposed to be Grandma Shekinah Glory. You're supposed to be able to see. Like, you're supposed to be able to see past all this human stuff and be like, I know my husband in there. I know that if I get with him, things going to get better. You're just supposed to know that. But if you've been one of the puppets that got caught up in the distractions of life, the difficulties of life and all that, you got jammed up or you occupied for some reason, you're not going to feel it. So grandpa in a way be judging his own wife and stuff. Which ones are good, which ones are not and stuff like that. He judging his own wives. Like the pieces of an energy with the doubt. Like grandma might have like some skepticism, right? She might have some disgust or some skepticism or some doubt about something. So she'll take those feelings and emotions of skepticism and stuff like that about the creation of mankind, and she'll take that energy and put it down there to mankind. So her energy of skepticism becomes the puppets that we see today that are like twerking, OnlyFans models. her skepticism energy is there. It's still her, but it's how she felt when she felt skeptical about something. And she didn't like the way that felt, so she pushed it away from her. Whatever that was inside of me felt like that, gotta go. So she pushed it out. And now it's down here on Earth, you know, living, OnlyFans and all this and all that. So when Grandpa comes, he see his wife in a puppet body, that skeptical energy that she's been feeling, that she kicked out of herself or sneezed out of herself, don't love Grandpa. So you see Grandpa in his body, they see him, but they don't come to him. They don't gravitate towards him. They treat him like a human or something, or like some random ass guy that can't take care of her or some shit. She lose her way and shit. So where you see the puppets of Grandma Shekinah Glory, they get fucked up and shit like that. You know, because they felt a negative way in the kingdom. And, you know, they got separated from their original body, the Shekinah Glory itself. Got separated from it. Like drops of water or drops of milk in a cup. So many drops of milk, some like started to get sour or something like that. And you separated those individual drops that were sour to salvage the rest of the whole carton or something like that. You know, like if you could do that for real, as a real person, separate the drops of milk that's sour so the rest of the milk don't get, like, you know that. So, but with Grandma, it's like that. I got to get rid of these drops of water here or these drops of milk here because that's very, very skeptical. And I got to remove this from my body before it messes me up. It's just playing out on Earth. You see Grandma's Grandma regardless, you know, so that's how it is with me. Grandma's Grandma regardless. I'm going to love Grandma, you know, but you know, higher understanding, that's what it is. So I just wanted to say that. Said everything I needed to say. I'm at Grandma's house. It's at Grandma's house. So anybody that might be disrespectful to their grandmothers, their mothers, or disrespectful to women in general, headstrong ass men and shit like that, these men are never gonna make it to the kingdom of heaven, because that's what the kingdom of heaven. You thinking like y'all thinking y'all going to this wonderful kingdom or something like that one day, or whatever y'all be thinking. It's Grandma's house. Like, you're going in Grandma's house. She is the person that runs the house that you're inside of. She talks. She runs you. You walking around feeling like, yeah, I'm a man and shit. She like, boy, if you don't shut up, it's going to be Grandma telling you what to do. So imagine how you feel about your grandmother on Earth and Grandma Shekinah Glory. Like, you ain't getting the fuck up in here talking to your grandmother like that. You talk to your grandmother like that, you won't think you won't talk to me like that. So men need to get it in their heads. All this headstrong, I'm a man shit, it gets too far because you're not realizing the woman is a key component to help you understand the balance of the hierarchy when you get to heaven and shit. You know, you're never gonna be above your mother, your grandmother, and authority figures in your family that are females like aunties and stuff. You're never gonna be above them. They'll always have authority over you. You need to understand the balance of that. And that's when you help you understand about the kingdom of heaven, how it works, the hierarchy and stuff like that. You know? Yeah. And we're on our way home. Well, y'all are on your way catching up to me. I'm home, but y'all gonna get there with me. You just gotta keep yourself clean, pure, dedicate yourself to learning what it is you must do, and you know, in earth, now that since you're here on earth, learn what you must do in holiness. Learn what you must do. Make sure your desire is pure from the work that of the life that you live to make money. Make sure your heart is pure from the work, you know, so that you can still put your hands on that Bible and learn. Because when you get into the kingdom, you're gonna have to still learn, but still you gotta show effort of you learning while you on earth. Or else it's gonna look phony. Like, how come you didn't want to learn when you was on earth, but now that you're in heaven, you want to act like you want to learn and stuff? It's gonna be that type of conversation. So as we're in flight towards the gate as we speak, yet still physically living on earth, that concludes my video. We're running from the sex police. Running from the sex police that want to bring us back down to this fiery ass shit and just be having sex with random women all our lives. Even though these women be beautiful as shit, pussies be looking wet as shit, and creamy as shit, knowing it's gonna feel good as a motherfucker. It's very enticing, but we gotta get out of here because sacred marriage is better than all of that because it gets old quick. Sex get old quick. So, staying strong, getting out of there. Grandpa got something for that. Grandma got something for that. That loneliness that we feel. You know, if we can still get to each other while we're here on earth, let's do that. You know, those of us who are in the right hearts with right intents, pure intents, let's do that. Because you want to do it while you're here, make it all count. You know, you don't want to go out like that. Go out strong, you know. But if you can't, we'll see each other later. But at least you said you tried. And like, well, you knew he was right there. Why you ain't try to get to him? You said, I'll see you in the kingdom of heaven. Why you ain't try to get to him right there, right now? Why you ain't open your heart to him while you was on earth? Well, you know, and then how it goes. Well, how you gonna be with him here on earth, here in the kingdom of heaven? Why you wanna be with him here now? I mean, cause what? He got life, he got money, you wealthy. You see, he's a king and shit. You see that now, actually, now that you're here in heaven, you see the kingship in your face. You know, don't believe it till you see it type person. But when he was on earth, that poor ass bum sleeping in a fucking jeep and shit, you had no words and shit. You're running for your life from this man. So it's like that, but we got to do our best while we alive in this place, in this world, you know, because it shows that we'll always be like that even after this world, you know, genuine. So as we're in flight, we're on our way home. I don't know how long it's going to take, but we'll be on the ship and we'll be living on the ship until we get all the way home in the Father's house. And the Father's house are many staying places. If it were not so, I would have told you. In my Father's house are many staying places, or many mansions, many rooms, many worlds, many universes, many creations, many existences. If it were not so, I would have told you. But I go and prepare a place. And if I go and prepare a place, I'll come back to receive you to myself, that where I am, you may be also. You know? The words of the Savior. That's what he's saying. In my Father's house. Meaning the master house, the door that we're trying to get through now. And the Most High Father's house and Grandpa's house is many existences, many worlds, we can make new creations and new things in Grandpa's house. When we come out here, it's just a testing ground, something fucked up, so we had to take it outside. It's not really the real shit, it's the testing shit. But when we go back in Grandpa's house, that's the real world. Everything is perfect there, nothing messed up. All of the perfect places and perfect existences are there. You know, so in my Father's house are many existences, many worlds, many universes and stuff like that. So that's where we're going. It's way more vast than out here. So we're just saying shalom, y'all. Be comforted, please.